It took me years to figure out my brows. And by that, I don't just mean a brow style that suited me, but a technique that really streamlined the process. Because I used to really struggle with my brows. It would take me so long to do. And it was the part of my makeup routine that I really hated. And I love makeup, I love putting it on, but brows would make me so frustrated. I went through phases of having really thick brows. I chopped the ends off and had very short brows, and I've even gone a little bit too thin, I think, as well. And the thing was, before I really figured out a technique that worked for me, I would have like good brow days and bad brow days. So while when I look back on all my makeup looks from the past, sometimes the brows look fine. Too often, it was just like an inconsistent effect with my techniques. Sort of like when you're doing winged eyeliner and you're always trying to match the other side and you're going back and forth until it's just become this kind of mess. That's what used to happen to me. So what I want to do today is talk about how I found a brow style that works for me. This might be especially helpful if you've found yourself struggling with like modern brow techniques, with trying to fill your brows in and shape them in a very specific way. I think you have to honor your brow shape more than you think. And sometimes you might just want to pluck the brows a bit. I'm not saying thinner brows are better. No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying for some people, just getting rid of a bit of hair can be a lot easier than trying to fill in and shape when you have kind of errant hairs on part of your brows. Does that make sense? I'm going to go into this. I am telling you, this is not about returning to the overplucked 90s brow, although if you love that, go for it. Just prefacing that before I get yelled at by someone who's like, don't ever pluck your brows. Sometimes you can, and it's okay. All right, let's get into it. So sometimes I think you want to think about what it is you want from your brows. When I was getting into makeup, what I found I really wanted was for the brows to frame the eye look. And today I'm wearing quite a glam look, so I feel like it's the best example of that. Because what I would find is if I didn't shape my brows enough, like they were too shapeless, it just felt like the eyeshadow was blending into the brows. Whereas I always found I wanted a brow to add that distinction, literally like a picture frame in a way for the eye look. And I just found my eye looks looked cleaner when I had a cleaner brow. So that was something I always knew I wanted, because when I would get it right, I could notice the difference in photos and just like how the rest of the makeup look would work. So that was something I wanted from my brows. Something else I wanted was an easier routine. I know some people will go as far as doing like that whole painting a unibrow under your foundation and all that, but I was not here for that. I didn't really want to be spending like an hour on my brow routine. So I also knew that I wanted something easier. When I was struggling with this, I'm just going to go through a couple phases of my brows so you can understand what happened and where I went wrong, and maybe it'll help you. So here's my like natural brow shape really before I really plucked or did anything to it. I do feel like they do have a soft arch similar to what I have right now, but a little bit more messy and less structured, like hairs going up here, and in particular hairs here. And this is where I really kind of went awry. So there was always a lot of hairs going down here. And when I was learning makeup, they were saying, do not pluck your brows, do not pluck your brows. So I was like, okay, modern brows, bold, bushy, right? So what I would do is I would try and fill in from this section to here. So this part of my skin right here was always filled with eyeshadow products or with eyebrow products, whether it was like eyebrow pencils, eyebrow pens, I tried it all, but there was always this like chunkier section up here because I was trying to merge this messy area with this part of my brow. And because I wanted that more streamlined brow look to frame my eye looks, I found sometimes I would be doing a line, like literally a line with pencil from low down here to here. And it would take me forever to blend this because I would be essentially drawing on my skin and creating eyebrows that weren't there. And then there came the times when I would struggle with too much boxiness. Like it would just look like a square here. And it just felt like really harsh for my face. Some people rock this. That's great for you. I'm not saying that it doesn't look good, but I'm saying for my personal struggles, it just was going against what my brows wanted to do naturally. So I think there's a lot of people who talk about, I think they call it the sperm brow, but that's essentially what happens when you have this extra shape happening here, that it kind of confuses things. That's what I'm going to say. It just meddles with you trying to figure out something that works for you, because you either fill it in and kind of get a kind of interesting shape, or you overfill it trying to connect it with the rest of your brow and end up with a really boxy, chunky shape. It can look messy really quickly. And you know what else happens? You may find yourself really going back and forth with trying to even them out. And it's just then a never-ending process, just like doing winged liner. So on that note, your brows are sisters. They are not twins. This part of my face just naturally, this eyebrow has a quizzical expression. If I try and match this brow to this, it's going to be a shit show, because this brow just naturally is a little higher. If I'm trying to like bring it to the same level as this brow, I'm going to be filling in. I'm just going to honor the fact that my face naturally raises its brow on this side. So I'm more concerned with the brows being even than symmetrical. Even, not symmetrical. And a lot of makeup creators these days and people tend to opt for brow pencils and brow pens. So I was using a lot of those at the beginning, but I found over time they were contributing to me just creating too harsh a look with my brows, because it was all about creating lines rather than a soft fill. I just found myself too often trying to fit into what was essentially a brow trend. We've seen brow trends through time, through the 90s and the 20s, the ultra thin brows, the bushy brows of the 2010s, the box brow of, I don't know when that was. Sometimes it's like you're trying to fit your face into what the trend is, and it's really clear when it's not working, because you'll find yourself frustrated with the process. You'll find yourself really just struggling to make it work. So about a year and a half ago, I started getting into exploring more makeup styles and the Kitchener style essences here on my channel, if you've been watching me for a while. And one of the recommendations for one of the essences was a thinner brow for ethereal essence. That's when I decided to give it a go. I'm like, I can tell, like I'm done with trying to connect this section and make something work. I'm just gonna get rid of it. So all I did was grab some tweezers and really just plucked along the lower part of my brow. So rather than cleaning up and streamlining this brow with products, I just got rid of the problem altogether. So this section is just all plucked away. There's hair that will grow here, after several days or a week, I'll start to see them come in. They're gone. I'm just like, let's get rid of the root of the problem. And then I clean up my brows with plucking some errant hairs here. And then I also shave a little bit around to get rid of any kind of peach fuzz. And I'll show you that process in a moment. But when I tell you everything changed for the better, when I did that, it's just kind of crazy how much that little difference and going against everyone's advice to not pluck made such a huge difference. Look, maybe you like my brows thicker. It's a style for sure, but this is actually what my brows want to do much more naturally. So once I got rid of the problem altogether, made sure that when I have my brows before I've done any product, as clean and symmetrical as possible, that's when everything got easier. So I really encourage you, if you're struggling in any way, get your brows to as best as their ability and their goal of what you want before product. That's really the main difference. I don't think it can be that helpful or that easy to be using product to create the effect. Because your brows are a natural part of your face. They are always there when you have makeup and when you don't. So when you get them to that place that is the effect you want as close as possible before you use any products, I think that can be so helpful. So when I don't have my eyebrow powder in or anything, I still feel really good about my brow shape. They feel clean and they feel symmetrical. So I'm going to show you the process a little bit, show you the products I use to pluck my brows, clean up the area, and then how I shape them out with brow powders and brow pencils. So before I do any kind of foundation or anything, when my skin is still bare, now is the time to see if I need to do any touch-ups, essentially with the plucking and the shaping. When you're constantly maintaining your eyebrow shape, it's pretty easy. Like you're not, doing this for 10 minutes before you do your makeup every day. It's more like a upkeep. So you're gonna want 3 tools, a little spoolie. You don't need this, but it's handy. One of those face razors. This one's the Tinkle one. It is an eyebrow razor. And then tweezers, but feel free to skip this. What I like to do is just mock out the shape right away. Your brows get a bit in disarray. Once I've made this shape and really sweeped everything together, then I will start to pluck any errant hairs. A lot of brow techniques now focus on like fluffing up your brow. For example, going like this to get more volume out of it. And it gives more of a spiky appearance, and then you can fill it in more from there. But personally, for my technique, it's just always worked better when I kind of think of it like raking it together rather than fluffing the brow. And you probably won't really see this on camera, but it's especially this section here I'll clean up and make sure that really that there's a soft line here rather than like my brow shape and then a bunch of random kind of hairs messing it up. I just pluck anything that's outside of this line that I want because I want a clean brow. That's what I found works best for me. Honestly, things are looking pretty good. Sometimes you will be in one light and it looks fine, and then in other light it's like, woo! So you can try using a magnifying mirror too. These are really handy for a lot of things, and go up close and then you're like, oh, okay, I see. And that makes the whole process so much easier. So anything that's on the top or on the bottom, I pluck away. And then the reason I really like this is it gets those hairs that are kind of like micro hairs that you can't quite see, but can kind of cling to things like eyeshadow or concealer. Like, have you ever done your foundation and concealer on your lid and then suddenly you notice all those hairs that weren't there? I like this for just cleaning up the general shape. I'll just work downward, being very careful not to shave off my eyebrow. Just the areas around the brow, especially here. I find here there's a lot of, I'm just going to call them messy hairs because they get in the way of my makeup. So moving down and just cleaning up that area. I did maintain a little bit of the techniques I used back when I had shaved off the ends of my brows. Now I just shave off literally the littlest end because otherwise they would go more down. I do like them to go just a touch up. And I like them to be really thin at the ends. One thing I like to do sometimes when I find my brows are feeling really kind of messy is like flatten this area and get in right there. And you don't have to do this every time you do your makeup. This is just maybe twice a week or something to just maintain the really groomed and streamlined brow. Now for actually filling my brow in. I do this after I have my foundation on. And I have 3 products that in my brow routine I consistently use and I have relied on for like well over a year now. These same products, literally I haven't had to replace them. So the first of which is the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in the shade Caramel. I love this product because it has 2 different shades in it, and this is offered in a lot of different colors. This for me is the perfect blend of a blonde and a redhead kind of shade. So there's the lighter side and the darker side. The 2 different colors really allow you to customize the brow. You can use the lighter shade at the front of your brow and the darker shade here. It's pretty common to focus the color a little bit further out And yes, that's a mistake I made in the past, was putting too much darkness right there. And it just always created this awkward kind of boxiness here. So I just make sure this area is feathered, and then more structure happens later in the brow. So I will take an angled brush and I will go in to the darker side, and I start the product right here. That's always where I start the application, because whatever's left on the brush, I can then feather it into the front of the brow. It's just a lot more awkward to start at the front of the brow with that darkest bit and blend from there. Starting here just gives you a lot more control over the depth of the brow, how you feather it. And I'm really mindful, especially with a powder, because you can notice a powder when it's really outside the lines of your natural hair. A powder can really naturally fill in, but the moment you bring a powder, just say I put it a bit lower, right? It just looks like eyeshadow. So the powder kind of makes you stay within the lines, like literally coloring within the lines. Like if you're a kid and you want to stay within the lines, the powder just makes sure that you don't kind of go off track. So I will blend it a little bit this way too, but I don't like to blend it too far down with the powder. Like I said, that's why I have a brow pencil for the very ends. And then I will take the lighter shade and I'll use that at the front of the brow. And it's just so easy, because I cleaned up the brow beforehand. Your natural brow is doing half the job already. And as you can see, the brow shape's very consistent. This one's just a little bit darker, a little bit more filled in. Then I will take my Kevyn Aucoin brow pencil in brunette. I cannot believe how long I've had this. I think it's been almost 2 years. Yes, it has. And I use it almost every day. And then I'll use this. You know what? I might have messed up that end a little. I'll use this to get that thinner end of the brow that has a little bit more control. Okay, I just accidentally went outside the line there as I was talking. That's okay. I'm just gonna take a brush. And there, she's gone. And then if you do need to clean anything up, yeah, you can take a brush. Sometimes I do this when I go outside the lines by accident. I'll just use kind of the foundation on my skin to blend it away. And then I take a brow gel and I do the same thing I did when I was brushing the brow out. Just up a little bit, and then we streamline. Foop. Now this may have seemed like a lot of steps because I was talking through it so much, but honestly, when you get in the groove with it, it's a huge time saver. As much as there's a bit of plucking involved, this is what my brows want to do. Like when I look back on old photos of my brow shape, it's just like a soft arch. Whereas previously I was trying to make it boxier, I was trying to make it fuller, I was trying to make this line really crisp, but it was just so much work trying to do all that with the product and make it look seamless. Whereas this just makes it all so much cleaner and simpler. All right, now I'm gonna do the other eyebrow, the rest of my makeup. So my makeup is done, both brows are on, and I just love the way this brow technique has helped me create frames for a bold look like this, as I said in the introduction. And like anything, if you're enjoying your ultra boxy, bold brows, keep doing so. If you're enjoying your ultra thin brows, your shaved brows, your really unique brows, go for it. This is really just for anybody who wants a little tip on how to clean things up, make the process easier, and make your makeup routine easier and really more joyful at the end of the day, because it's not fun to be sitting there struggling, trying to make things even, and just using so much product to get the effect you want. All right, friends, that's it for this video. Until next time, may you all find yourselves a little bit of makeup magic, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, witches.